Good morning, Bulls. It's Tuesday, May 11th. I'm Will.
And I'm Brandon. Thank you for joining us today on today's edition of Bullseye News. Let's see the top stories around the world.
17 Americans arrived in Omaha, Nebraska after traveling on a cruise ship where the hantavirus broke out. Officials with the Department of Health and Human Services said Sunday one of the Americans has mild symptoms, while another has tested mildly positive for the Andes strand of the virus. A British citizen who lives in the United States also traveled with the Americans. The Americans and British citizen were transported to the University of Nebraska Medical Center after landing at Eppley Airfield. The medical center is home to the National Quarantine Unit. 3 people died on the cruise ship after contracting the hantavirus, and 5 others were sickened. Health authorities say the hantavirus is not like COVID-19, and people should not worry that this incident will lead to another global pandemic.
We're still shaken by the terrifying moment that played out on this Friday, as a person was struck and killed by a Frontier Airlines plane. After jumping a perimeter fence and crossing a runway at Denver International Airport, Frontier Airlines said this flight was departing from Denver en route to Los Angeles when it happened. One passenger described hearing what sounded like a thud during takeoff. According to the airport, Denver's fire department quickly extinguished the brief engine fire. Emergency crews rushed to the scene and passengers were taken to the terminal. The airport said 12 people were reported with minor injuries while 5 were hospitalized. The airport said that pedestrian the pedestrian has not been identified and is believed to be an airport employee. An inspection after the incident found the airport perimeter fence was intact, but the airport said it will perform an incident analysis in the coming days and review its perimeter security program. The FAA is also investigating.
Sad news from the world of baseball. Long-time Atlanta Braves manager Bobby Cox has died. The Braves posted on the news on social media. The organization says Cox was the best manager to ever wear a Braves uniform. He managed the team for 25 years. He led the Braves to 14 straight division titles, 5 National League pennants, and a World Series victory in 1995. Cox also managed the Toronto Blue Jays for 4 years. The 84-year-old was voted into baseball's Hall of Fame in 2014. He suffered a stroke in 2019 and had many other medical issues. He had more than 2,500 wins in his career. That is the 4th most of any manager in baseball history. Sticking with sports, we have big news for our Parish Athletics with Brooklyn.
What's up, Bulls? It's Brooklyn back here in the Sports Corner, and it is a big night for the softball team as we continue our playoff push with a home game tonight against Mitchell at 7 p.m. We got some new school history. Junior Riley Mashad became the first PCHS track athlete to win a state championship, taking first place in the triple jump. In state weightlifting meet for the boys, Kyle Nee finished 5th place in the state, and Ty Baker also finished in the top 10. Now let's head over to the big leagues. The NBA playoffs roll on with the Knicks sweeping the 76ers to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Setting up tonight are the Minnesota Timberwolves and San Antonio Spurs in a Game 5 showdown at 8 p.m. on NBC and Peacock. The playoffs are also brewing in the NHL with the Hurricanes sweeping the Flyers and advancing to their Eastern Conference Finals. They will take on either the Buffalo Sabres or the Montreal Canadiens, who play tonight in Game 4 at 7 p.m. on ESPN. The Vegas Golden Knights and Anaheim Ducks also play tonight in Game 5 at 9:30 on ESPN. The NFL is releasing its full schedule this Thursday night with key matchups being announced throughout the week. We'll break it all down for you next week. That's all for sports. Back to the desk, and as always, go Bulls.
Oh, okay. For today's lunch, we have Boom Boom Chicken, Cuban sandwiches, dinner rolls, mashed potatoes, salad, and your fresh choice of fresh fruit. Now let's turn it over to get the latest and up-to-date weather forecast.
Good morning, Bulls! We have mostly cloudy skies today with just over a 20% chance of rain. The highs remain in the 80s with the lows in the 70s. It'll feel warmer out with the humidity reaching 85% by the afternoon. That's all we have for today. Back to you at the desk.
As a reminder, we have exams starting next Friday and through the last week of school. As a reminder, you cannot take your exams early. If you miss your exam, you must have an excused absence and schedule to make it up over the summer.
Thank you, Bulls, for joining us this morning for this edition of Bullseye News.
Have a wonderful Tuesday. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. And always, go Bulls!